Hey guys, welcome back again. So in this video, let's see that how do we upload files to our Node.js server, and we'll be looking into that how do we upload a single file and multiple files also. So now I've created a new empty directory that is Node.js file upload. So it will list all the files inside it. So it's a currently empty directory. So let's initialize a new npm project. So let me do npm init-y to keep all the defaults. So now the project is created and we can see that we have a package.json file. So let's install a couple of packages here. So let me install them and let me save them, and let's install the first package, that is Express, and that would be used as a Node.js server. And then we'll be using the Express file upload, and this will handle all the file uploads. And then we are going to use the templating engine that is called EJS. So that will be all. So let me press install or let me enter. So now I'm going to create a couple of files here, or a single file here that is called app.js. That would be the entry point for this application. So touch app.js. So now we have app.js here and node modules and package.log.json and package.json. So let me create a couple of directories here. So let me create one directory that is called public, and this would keep all our uploads. And now let me create one more directory that would be called temp. So make the temp. And now let me create another directory that is called views, that will contain all the views, that is the EJS views. So that would be all. So now let me open my text editor, that is code dot to open VS Code. So let me go full screen here. And now here we see the project structure here on the left side. That is the public directory, the temporary directory, the views, and the app.js. That is the starting point. So firstly, let me create a start script inside my package.json file here. So instead of this test, let me create start, and here it would simply say nodemon app.js. And why I'm using nodemon here? Because it will automatically restart the application on safe whenever something is changed inside this app.js file or any JS file inside your application. And if you haven't installed Node.js globally on your system, then what you can do, you can simply do npm install -g and then nodemon like this. Though I'm not going to do this because I have already installed nodemon globally on my system. So let me press Ctrl C. So now let me also close this package.json file. And we also see these three dependencies that we just added, that is the EJS, the Express, and the Express file upload. So let me close it. So now let's go to this views folder and let's create our first view, and that would be the index.ejs, and that would be rendered for the home route. So let's right click here, new file, and it would be called index.ejs like this. And now to put in some HTML inside this, I'll simply do exclamation here, and then since I'm using emmet here, or VS Code already has emmet inbuilt, so I'm getting this skeleton here of the HTML here. So the title would simply say file uploads like this, and then our body would contain the first thing, that is the heading, and it should also say file upload like this. So now let's give some styles to our HTML. So, and the styles would be very simple. So let me put in a style tag here, and then inside the body thing, we simply want to have a grid here. So let me display the body as grid, and we simply place the items as center like this. So now let's go to the app.js file to render this view. So let's go to our app.js file. So currently it is empty. So firstly I'll require express. So const express equal to require express like this. Let's also require the file upload. So const file upload equal to require file upload, that is the express file upload. And then we initialize our app equal to express app, and then we simply want to listen on port 3000 for this application. So app.listen, we provide in the port, and not 300 but 3000, and then we have a callback here, and it would simply console.log that server running on port 3000. So server on port 3000 like this. So let's save this, and now let's handle the home route that would render this index.ejs file. So we'll handle it like this, that is app.get, and then we have /, and then we have async request response next, because we'll be using async and await throughout this application. And then what we want to do, we want to simply render this template. So that is the EJS template, that is the index.ejs template. So res.render, and here we can simply pass an index like this. But before rendering this template, we need to set the view engine for this application since we are using EJS. So what we can simply say, we can say app.set view engine, not endgame but engine, and the view engine is EJS in our case, like this. So let's save this, and now let's do npm start inside the terminal, and our application would be started on port 3000. So let's go to our Chrome browser, and here let's go to port 3000, that is localhost port 3000, and we see that file upload. So now let's make a form here, that is to upload the file here. So let's go back, and it would be a very simple form. So let's go to our index.ejs file here. So here after the h1 we'll have our form. So let me minimize this terminal here. So we would be having a form here, and it would be a post form, that is the method of this form would be post, and the action would go to single. Since we are handling the single file upload for now, so the action would be single. And since we are uploading files here, so we need to provide an enc type here. So enc type would be multipart form data like this. And then inside this form, we'll only have a single field, that is the input field with the type of file. So let's do it. So input type of file like this, and the name would be, let's call it m file. And this name is very important, and you'll get to know it later in the video that why it is important. So that would be all for this. And let's also make this input field required, that is the form cannot be submitted if this field is empty. And then the second input type would be the button here. So let's say input type equal to submit like this, and the value would be upload like this. So let's close the input tags here. So let's save this, and let's go back to our browser here. So let's refresh it, and we see that we have this button here and this input field here to choose the file. So if we click upload now, we see that we are getting this thing, that is please select a file. So if I click here, I'll be getting a pop-up here to select a file. So for now, let's cancel it. So let's go back, and here we see that we have this route, that is / single, but we haven't created this route inside our app.js file. So let's do that. And let me also provide here an HCD tag that says single file upload, because we are handling single file upload here in this form here. So let's save this EJS file here, and now let's go to app.js to create this single route. So let's go to app.js, and here what we want to have, we want to have app.post, not get but post / single, because we are handling single file uploads here. And here we'll simply say again async, because we are going to use await here inside this function. So request response next like this. And then here what we want to do, let's use try and catch, because we are using async and await. So let's use try and catch, and if there is an error, then what do we want to send? We simply want to send a message here. So let me send plain text here. If there is an error, so res.send, and we can simply say error uploading file, and we can also console log the error. So console.log error like this. So now the meat of the video comes, that is how to upload files or how to handle file uploads. So for that we have installed this package, that is express file upload, and we have required it here using file upload equal to require express file upload. So what it does, this package, that is file upload, it acts as a middleware inside your application, and it parses the file inside the request.files. So let's see how to do that. So after setting the view engine, what we can do, we can simply say app.use, and since we are using it as a middleware, therefore we are doing app.use and then file upload, and then we simply invoke it like this. Though we can also pass in a couple of options here, and we'll be doing it later in the video, but for now let's keep it this way, that is app.use file upload. And then inside the try block, what we need to do, we can get the files very easily. So let me make some room here. So const file, the file that is uploaded, we can get it like this. So rec dot, that is the request dot files dot mfile. And why I'm doing mfile here? Because this is the name of the input field here. That is, this input field has a name of mfile. Therefore, this file would be accessed from this files object using .mfile here. Therefore, this is very important. That is, whatever the name of the input field is here, you can access that file here using request.files.mfile. And now to save this file, what we would like to do, we would like to create a save path for this file. And where do we want to save it? We want to save it inside the uploads folder inside the public directory. Though we do not have the uploads folder here, so let's create one. So let's go to the public directory and let's create a new folder here, and that would be called uploads, like this. And now we want to save this file inside this uploads folder. So firstly, we need to create our path. So for that, we need to require the path package from Node.js. So const path equal to require path, like this. And now we'll create a path for this file to be saved. So let's create that path. So const save path equal to path dot join, and here we need to provide in a couple of arguments. The first one is the dir name, and this dir name provides you the absolute path of the current executing JS file, and in our case it is the app.js file. And then we need to provide in the folder name, that is public. Then we need to go to uploads, like this, and then we need to provide in the name of the file, and we can get the name of the file using file.name, like this. And let me also log in this file object here after getting the file. So console.log, not time log but log file, just to see that what's all inside this file object here. So now we have this path here. And now to save the file, what we simply need to do, it is very simple. We simply need to await, because we are using async and await. So what we can do, we can simply say file.mv, and here we need to provide in the save path, like this. And this mv function is created by this package here, that is express file upload, by using it as a middleware here. And we'll be seeing that inside this console.log statement, but for now let's keep it this way. And now finally what we want to do after saving the file, we want to render the user back to the home page. So we can simply say res.redirect, and we want to redirect him back to the home page, like this. So let's save this application, and if everything goes well, we'll be seeing an upload here inside this uploads directory. So let's go back to our application. Let's refresh the page here, and we see single file upload. So let's choose a file here. So let's choose this screenshot here, and now let's click on upload here. So we are redirected back. So it means the file has been saved, and we see here inside the uploads directly we have this screenshot, that is this screenshot. But one thing, that though we are able to save file inside the uploads folder, it is not a good idea to save the files by the actual name that they are coming from. So now let's go open our terminal here to see what's inside the console.log file here. So let's open the terminal here, and let me expand it. So we see that our file object contains these things, that is the name of the file, the data, the actual size of the file, the encoding, the temporary file path, though we have not provided the temporary file path, and we'll be providing that in a moment, and then whether the file is truncated or not. And this truncated would be true in case you have provided a limit on your file upload size. Then we see the mime type of the file, and then we see the MD5 hash, and then we have this mv function, that is the move function. So now let me minimize it. And now one more thing, that it is never a good idea to save files by the name with which they are coming, because two users might upload a file with the same name and the files would be overwritten. So let me show it to you, that currently we have this file that is 204454, and let's upload it once again. So let's go here and let's select that file here, and now let's click on upload. The file has been uploaded, but the previous file was overwritten. So to overcome this situation, what you need to do, you need to provide in your own file names. Now to provide your own file name, what you can do, you can generate a new file name using the date thing, or you can use the UUID. And for now, let's see that how do we use the current time as the file name. So let's create a file name here. So const file name equal to new date dot get time dot toString, like this. And then we also need to provide them the extension for this file name, and we can get the extension of this file very easily using path dot extension name, and here we can provide in file dot name, like this. And now here, instead of providing in the file dot name, what we can do, we can provide in file name here that we have just created. So let's save this application and let's go back and let's try to upload the file here, and we are uploading the same file. Let's click on upload, and we see here that we have this file that is with some digits and .png extension, and though it is the same file. So let's try uploading it once again. That is the same file we are uploading, like this. And again we get another image, but the images are same, though the file names are different, but the file names that are coming from the client side are same. So this is how you should rename your files when you are saving them inside your application. So now everything seems to work fine, but as I have told you that you can also provide an object here inside this file upload middleware. And why do we need to provide an object here? Because currently what is happening here, that is while the file is uploading or while the file is moved to this uploads folder, it is being kept inside the memory. But we do not want to do that inside a production application because memory is expensive. But instead what we can do, we can use this temporary folder that we have created initially to keep the files while it is being transferred to this uploads folder. So how can we do that? It is very simple. So let's provide an object here. And here we can simply say use temp files, and this should be true, like this. And then we also need to provide in the path for the temporary directory. And to provide the path, it is very simple. We can simply say temp file stir, and here we can simply use the path package path.join, and then the dir name, that is the absolute path of the current executing file, that is app.js in our case. And then we can provide in temp, like this. And now let's save this, and now let's run this application, and nothing will be changed and our file will be saved to our application. So let's upload it, and we see that the file has been created here. So now let me do one more thing. So let me delete this uploads folder and let's see that what do we get. So let's select this uploads folder and let me delete this. So now let's go back to our application. So now let me choose a file here, and this time we'll be getting an error. So let me click on upload, and we see that error uploading file. So if we go back to our application and we look at the logcat here, or the error log message here, we see that we are getting no such file or directory. So because this path, that is dir name public /uploads, this uploads folder does not exist. So in this case, what you can do, either you should be sure that this uploads folder exists in your public directory, or what you can do, if you want to create dynamic folders when the file is uploading, what you can do, you can pass here one more thing, and that is create parent path. So create parent path, and you should pass it to true, like this. So now let's save this, and this time the uploads folder would automatically be created inside this public folder. So let's go back here, let's go back, let's refresh it. So let's choose the file here, that is the screenshot, this thing. So let me click on upload here, and we are redirected back to our home page. So that means the file is uploaded. So let's go back, and we see that this folder has automatically been created, as we can see here. Okay, one more thing, that is previously when we haven't used this thing here, that is create parent path to be true, then the file moved to this temporary folder here, because this path, that is public /upload, didn't exist it. So therefore in a production application, you should always clear out your temporary folders in case there are some temporary files present inside that folder. So now let's see that how do we limit the file size. So for this, let's provide here one more thing, that is limit, and here we can pass in the file size in bytes. And for 1 kilobyte, we can provide it 1024. That is 1024 bytes is 1 kilobyte. That is no file that is greater than 1 KB can be uploaded. So let's save this application, and this should be limits, not limit. So now let's save this application and let's go back. So let's choose a file here and let me this time select this screenshot that is of 48 kilobytes. So let me select it. Let's click on upload here and we see that everything went fine because we are redirected back. So let's go back and we see here that we have this new image, but we cannot see this image. So let's see that what is happening here. If we open our app.js file, or let's open this terminal here, and since we have logged the file inside the console, we see that this file is truncated and its size is 1024. So instead of moving this file to your path, that is here where we are creating the save path, we are awaiting, that is file.mv. Instead, what we can check here, that is we can check whether this file is being truncated or not. So we can check it like this. So if file.truncated, if the file is truncated, then what we want to do, we want to simply throw the error to be catched by this error block, and we can say throw new error, and here we can pass in the error message that the file size is too big, like this. And then you can also send this error message back to the client, but for now let's simply log it inside the console and let's simply send error uploading the file. So let's save it and let's go back. Let's choose a file here. So let's select this, let's click on upload and we see error uploading file. Let's go back and we see here that we have the error here, that is file size is too big, and this time we do not have that file here, but it is inside the temporary folder, and we can verify it once again. Let's go back to our home route. Let's choose a file here. So let me select this screenshot, let me click on upload. We get error uploading file. Let's go back and again we have a temporary file here, but we do not have any file inside our uploads folder. So this is how we handle limiting of the file size while uploading. Okay, so now let's see that how do we restrict the user to only upload a certain kinds of file. So firstly, let me close this terminal window here and let's open our index.ejs file. And here what we need to do, we need to provide one more attribute to this input field, that is accept. And if the user can only upload JPEGs, that is the JPEG files, then we can say here image/JPEG. If we can also upload PNGs, then we can say image/PNG. For SVGs, we can say image/SVG plus XML, like this. For PDFs, we can say application/PDF. And here you can provide in comma separated values of either a single value or multiple values, and then only those kinds of files the user would be able to select. So let's save this application and let's go back here to our application and let's go to our home route here and let's press enter. And now let's click on choose file, or let me refresh it first. So let's click on choose file, and now we can see that we can upload PNGs, and we cannot upload this pages file here, that is the estimate pages file. And we can upload the PDFs, but we cannot upload this con file here or the JSON file here. So let's select this doc.pdf. So let's click on open, or let's select another file, that is this screenshot. So let's click on upload and we see error uploading file, and that is because we have provided in here a maximum file size of 1024 bytes. So let's change it to at least 2 megabytes. So 2 times 1024 times 1024. So let's save here. Let's go back and let's go back here and let's select another file here, that is this file of 40 KB. So let's click on upload. So we have uploaded the file and we can see that here. So this is how you restrict the user to upload only a certain kinds of file, but this is only for the client side. You should validate these files inside your app.js also. So here if we open our terminal here, we can see that we are getting these things here for the file object here, and we see here the MIME type. So what you can do, you can simply check the MIME type of the file that the user is trying to upload, and if it matches the MIME type you support, then you can upload it, or otherwise you can throw an error as we have done here inside this if file.truncated. So we can check it like this. So if file dot mimetype equal to image JPEG, then we can upload. So, or if it is not equal to image JPEG, that is, if it is not a JPEG image, then we do not want to upload it. Even if it's a PNG, we will throw an error. So we can simply say throw new error, and here we can say only JPEGs are supported, like this. So let's save this application. The application restarted. Let's go back. Let's choose a file here, and let me select here this PNG image. So it's a PNG image. This shouldn't be uploaded. So we are getting this error here. And if we look at the log statements here inside the terminal, we see that we are getting this log that only JPEGs are supported. And if we try to upload a JPEG here, so let's go back. Let's choose some JPEG image here, if we can find any. Okay, so let's choose this one. It's a Pexels photo, that is from the Pexels website. So let's try to upload it. The image uploaded, and we can see here that this is the image we uploaded, and we did not get any error. And the MIME type of this app file is image/JPEG. So this is how you validate the incoming file types. So now let's see that how do we handle multiple files. Since here we only handle the single, that is if the user is trying to upload a single file. So let's handle multiple file uploads. So for that, the first thing which I am going to do is I am going to go to my index.ejs file here, and here I am going to create a new form here. That is for the multiple file upload. So let's create a h3 here, not an h2 but an h3, and multi-file upload, like this. And here I want to copy the similar form, or let me copy the same form here, and we'll change whatever is necessary. So here the form action would be multiple, and we are going to create this route. So let me copy it. The method would be post again. The ink type would be again multipart form data. And let me remove this except from here, or let it be. And now what I want to do, I want to change the name of this input field here to be mfiles, and this can be any name. But for this tutorial, I am keeping it mfiles, like this. And now the last thing which I want to do here is to provide another attribute, and that is multiple, like this, so that the user is able to upload multiple files inside this input field. So let's go back here, let's refresh it. So let's choose the files here. So let me select this file, this file. So we see that we are able to select 2 files here or more. So let me click on open. So we see that we have 2 files selected here. So now let's go to our application here inside the app.js, and we want to handle this route, that is /multiple. So firstly, let me create this route here, and let me close the terminal window here. So let me minimize this single thing here, and here we'll say app.post, and the route name would be multiple, like this. And again we are going to use async and await, async. So request, response, next. And then we are going to use our try catch. And for the error, we can simply console.log the error message, like this. And for the response, we can simply send error uploading files, error uploading files, like this. And now inside the try block, we can get all the files using this thing here, that is const files equal to rec.files.mfiles, like this, because this is the name of the input field here inside our EJS file. That is the name here, that is mfiles. So therefore we are using this name here inside this thing here, that is request.files.mfiles. And now what we can do, firstly I'm going to show you the wrong way. So files.forEach, and here we have a file, and then what we can do, we can simply create a safe path. So const safe path equal to path.join, and we want to upload it in the same folder as the uploads folder. So dir name, comma public, comma uploads, like this. And then finally the name of the file, and we can get it from the file.name thing, like this. And then finally we can await, and here we can say file.mv, and here we can provide in the save path. But the problem using this approach is this, that here we need to mark this function as async because we are using await here inside this for each loop. But if we mark this function as async and if anything goes wrong here, then we won't be able to catch that error inside this catch block. So for that, we are not going to do it like this because this is the wrong way of doing things. So let me comment this thing out from here. And what I'll do, I'll show you two methods to save files. Firstly, let me show you the crude way. So let's create a new array called promises. So promises equal to an empty array. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to loop through my files. So I'll say files dot for each file. And here what we can do, we can use the same thing, that is the same save path. So let me copy the save path because there is no problem with the save path. And then finally what I'm going to do, I'm going to push this file.mv function inside this promises array here. So promises dot push, and here we can say file.mv like this, and here we can provide in the save path like this. And finally, after this loop, that is after this for each loop, we can say await promise.all like this, and we can pass in here promises so that each of the promises is executed. And now let's save it, and this time we are able to save all the files. So let me clear my uploads folder here. Let's delete it, and let's also clear the temporary folder. And now let's save this application once more, and let's go back to our application, and let me choose the files here. So let's select these two files here. Let's click on open. Two files are selected. Let's click on upload, and we see that we are not able to handle the routes properly, I suppose. And that is because we are not redirecting user back to the home page again after saving the files. So finally what we can do, we can simply say res.redirect, and we can redirect the user back to the home page. So let's go back again once more, and let's try to upload the files. So let me choose files here. So 1, 2, let's open, let's upload, and we are back on the home page. Let's go back, and we see that the two files have been uploaded here. So this is one way of handling this files thing here, that is executing all the promises in this thing here, that is await promise.all. Or else what we can do, we can use another way, and that is, let me show it to you. We'll create a new array here like this. So const promises equal to files dot map, and here we have a file, and then we'll create a save path. So the save path can be the similar save path. So let me paste it here, and finally what we want to return here, we want to return simply here file dot mv, and here we'll provide in the save path like this. So this is another way of creating a promises array, and then we can simply use this thing here, that is await promises.all promises. So it depends on you that whether you like this way or you like this way, though this is the wrong way, so you should never use it. So now let's go back again, and let's select some files here. So this time let me select this pixels photo and these two screenshots like this, and this pixels photo. So let's click on open, and this time we have 3 files. So let's click on upload. So we are redirected back to the home page. So the files upload is complete, and if we look here, we see the photos and the images are saved to our application. And what all we have done inside this single file upload, that is checking the file type or checking whether the file is truncated or not, all that you can do it here inside this map function here. So guys, that's all about this video. So if you have liked the video, do hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do subscribe to my channel. And if you want, you can support me on the links given in the description below. So thank you, bye bye, tata, take care, and have a good day.